Hey, what's up guys? I'm TPP Robinizer and welcome to my MPC Season 3 Draft Analysis. Season 2, it ended. My computer died midway through, so I could not quite record the matches. However, we did end up 7-7 with a 0 differential, which was decent. And we just barely made it into playoffs. And then we managed to make it to finals after beating Junior and Noah. So, we made it to finals and we were playing Harley and we just barely lost. So that's it's a shame. But we made it to finals and we're back with season 3. And because I made it to finals, that means I got a really late pick in the draft. I got pick 15, which meant I got a pretty safe wheel and I would get a lower tier round 1 pick. And I decided to get Hoopa. So, Hoopa Unbound. Honestly, I'm very I don't know, this mon is very weird because on one hand, you have only 80 speed, you have 60 defense, and you're 4 times weak to U-turn, which is pretty bad. However, on the other hand, you have 160 attack, 170 special attack, and 130 special defense. And then, I mean, 80 speed is not bad for outspeeding walls, honestly. But it's got the power. It just doesn't really have the physical bulk and the defensive typing. But yeah. So this thing, it's got utility options such as Trick Room, Taunt, Nasty Plot. And then we just have hella coverage. We have physical and special coverage. All right, let me just go over this list real quick. Brick Break, Dark Pulse, Drain Punch, Energy Ball, Fire Punch, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Gunk Shot. We got Hyperspace Fury and Knockoff, Power Up Punch, Psychic, Psy Shock, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Thunderbolt, and Thunder Punch, and Zen Headbutt, which is a very good. It's a very good amount of coverage. Like it can hit most things, and then there's not much else down here, but it can hit a lot of things pretty well, and it's just with an expert belt, it can hit pretty hard, and it can also run bandit or specs with just stab moves, and it's very good. So that was my round 1 pick, and I decided to build around this thing by getting mostly offensively. I wanted hazards with cleaners, and then defensively, I wanted a core that could uh, either support those hazards or pivot around. So yeah. So first up, we got Ferrothorn. I have wanted to use this mon for a long time, and now was the time. If I run Iron Barbs and maybe even a Rocky Helmet, the U-turns that would go into Hoopa are taking more than 25%, along with the options of spikes and stealth rocks. So it's gonna discourage my opponent from using U-turn a lot if they think Ferrothorn might come in on my Hoopa. And then it's also got it's just got the bulk on both sides and the fantastic grass steel typing. Only 2 weaknesses, and we're going to try and cover those up in a bit. But I just thought this thing brought the utility with the hazards and the preventing of U-turn. And I know it might be a bit early getting it early round 2, but I think it was worth it because I think it works very well with Hoopa, and it's a good mon, and I've wanted to use it, and I wasn't gonna let it get away from me. So to pair up with this, we were in the late 3rd round, and I wanted to finish off my Fairy Dragon Steel Core very early. I got the Steel type, and next up I got the Fairy type. I got Florges. This thing, it can be a Cleric. It's got Defog, and it's a very bulky Fairy type with a bit of offensive presence. 112 special attack, not bad. So it's got everything that I wanted. It's got a decent speed tier if I want to run like offensive, because 112 special attack, 75 speed, that's not terrible. But yeah, it's just that solid fairy typing, and it works very well defensively with Ferrothorn. And you'll notice as I keep going, my team is very Gen 6. It's a Gen 6 team basically. But yeah, so we got the Ferrothorn Florges core with the Hoopa for offense, and I decided to get a Dragon type next. I was hoping for Goodra, but That went like round 2 or something, which is way too early. And man, I think round 4 might have even been a reach for it. But yeah. So but a couple dragons did fall, and one of them was Dragonite. Um, I don't know why, but it did, and it's a Zemon, and it's gonna do some damage. That's my goal. Just let it do some damage, and I think it will. It's got the monstrous 134 attack, decent bulk 91, 95, 100 with multi-scale. It's gonna live a hit from full guaranteed, and then 80 speed is not terrible when you have Dragon Dance, and I believe it even gets agility. It does. So it's got some options. It could even go special, like 100 special attack, and then you have Draco Meteor, Fire Blast. It's got options, and then we have the priority of E speed. So this thing, I just thought it brought the utility that I wanted, and then like you could even run like with multi-scale, you could run a Lugia type set with Toxic, Roost. It's got Defog. It's got the options to run a lot of different things. It's got the support and it's got the power. So I feel like this is a pretty good sweeper that could go with Hoopa, because as Hoopa destroys the walls, then it would open up the doors for Dragonite to just maybe only get up an agility or one Dragon Dance and then just plow through a team because they don't have the walls to beat it. And yeah, so and then the multi-scale helps against offensive teams that Hoopa doesn't really appreciate. So yeah, this is a sweeper. And then next up, I just got a row of cleaners, and I decided to get them and just get some solid cleaners that could benefit from Hoopa breaking walls. The first one, this one's a bit of a cleaner with a Choice Scarf, but it's also a pretty solid wall breaker with a Life Orb or a Choice Band. That's Mienshao. Reckless High Jump Kick. Coming off of a stab base 125 attack, that's crazy. It's doing so much damage. It's got the Swords Dance option, it's got the U-turn, the knockoff, the Stone Edge, and then Choice Scarf is such a good set because 105 is not a bad speed tier at all for Choice Scarf. It's got a few special options. You could run a Calm Mindset, 95 special attack. It's not terrible. Then it's also got the option of Regenerator, which could work very well because I can just, come in, maybe take one hit, throw off a high jump kick or a U-turn, and then get the health back. So Regenerator, Reckless, two great abilities. It's got the SD option that it's very uncommon. However, it is an option. We got utility and taunt, and then we just have the power of the Reckless high jump kick. And then a couple coverage moves: knock off, Poison Jab, Stone Edge, U-turn. It's got what it needs. And then okay, so the next cleaner is a Torrent Greninja. So the reason I like this mon on my team, in general I think it's but it's got the speed to be a really solid cleaner on my team. It's got the momentum with U-turn to get Hoopa in, and it's got the hazards and spikes and T-spikes. And then it's also got the coverage to just potentially break through offensive teams. So I just like the ability that Hoopa can break through the walls that this thing struggles with a lot. And then this thing can also support Hoopa with the U-turn support and the hazards. And it gave me some speed. You'll notice my speed was a bit lacking, but I mean I think we fixed it in the end. It was like base 80 at the highest, and then we got Mienshao 105, Greninja 122, and then the next mon, the third and final cleaner, is Swellow at 125. I want to use this mon. I had it in one league, but that league died like after week 3. And I just want to try this mon, like Specs Boom Burst and then Guts Facade. Like, it's a combo where you can't really have one mon checks any set because it's just physical and special are very different beasts, and then it's also got a little bit of coverage with Heat Wave. So like a Steel type that would check a physical set is not checking a special set. So yeah, and then it's got a Roost for recovery. It's got U-turn for that momentum that I've been talking about, and then it's also got Work Up in case I want to do that. But the main thing is going to be doing is Click and Specs Boom Burst or Guts Flame Orb Boosted Facade. It's a very hard mon to switch into, and I think it's honestly pretty underrated because it's got so much speed. And then even though it only has 85 attack and 75 special attack, it has a lot of power. It has a lot of power behind its punches because it's like you're using base 140 moves that have a stab boost and maybe even a guts boost, or they have a specs boost. It's just so strong and such a good cleaner. Um, Maybe we'll run the JT special, which is metronome. Metronome boom burst, that could break through a couple walls. Then next up, I decided to finish out the defensive core with we got Ferrothorn and Florges, and I decided to get a more reliable rock setter so Ferrothorn can set up spikes, and that is Gligar. Gligar is a very reliable rock setter, which I like, and then it's also got the momentum with U-turn, defog for removal, and stab EQ coming off of base 75 attack is not bad at all. Then with the Eviolite, it can take hits on the physical or special side. 85 speed is not terrible. You can outspeed other walls, you can taunt them. It's got the options, and then immunity means it cannot be poisoned. So it has a favorable matchup against other walls where you could just taunt and then maybe SD because they can't toxic you and they can't do that much damage. So what are they gonna do? And then it's just got the bulk to be able to take a couple hits from some offensive mons and then throw off rocks or removal or U-turn to get in Hoopa or something. So yeah, I like that. And then this is round 8. So going into round 9, I was like, I want a spinner. I have spikes, T-spikes, and rocks. I want a spinner. I don't want to have to defog my hazards away. And then I was looking, and there were only bad mons left. And then I was like, this mon has to be taken. It has to be taken. It's a really solid pick. And then it wasn't taken. And this mon is not a round 9 mon, and that is Tentacruel. It's got speed, it's got special defense, and it's got spin. This is one of the best defensive spinners in the game. And it fell to round 9. It gives me another toxic spike setter. And I could not pass this up. It was what I needed. I have an offensive water. Let me get a bulky water. Let me get a poison type so fairies don't just break through my Greninja, Mienshao, Dragonite, Hoopa. Fairy types were an issue. Not really. This thing beats almost any fairy type. Almost any. Not all of them. There's still Coco, and Coco's gonna body my team. But nevertheless, this mon, it should not have fallen. It should not have, and I'm so glad I got it because it's just such a reliable spinner. It's got Rain Dish because I know there's I think one, maybe even two Rain uses here. Clear Body, webs won't affect me, and then I can just spin them away. Liquid Ooze, don't Giga Drain me. It's got options. It's got the T-Spikes. It's got the Acid Spray and the Haze and the Knockoff. It's got the reliable Scald. It's got options, and then Clear Body so the webs don't matter. Max speed, SD, that's the set. We're bringing it once. I don't know. That's probably a lie. We might never bring it, but it's got options defensively. It has so much utility, and yeah, I'm just glad it is on my team. And next up, I decided to get even more value, even though it probably wasn't the best idea. So my team, it's not weak to rocks, but it doesn't appreciate rocks. I have Swellow and Dragonite, which are both weak to it, and then Mienshao, Greninja, and Hoopa, they're going to be coming in multiple times. They don't want that chip damage. So rocks could be a little bit of an issue, but we just picked up the spinner, and I was like, I don't care. I will get a 4th flying type. I will raise my rocks weakness again, because this mon is like a round 4 mon, and it fell to round 10, and that's Gyarados. This monster fell to round 10 in a free draft. What the hell? What the hell? It should not have happened, but it did, and we got it. So we have 2 reliable sweepers here. We have Dragonite, we have Gyarados. They're both flying types. However, Dragon and Water are very different to take on. And I'm just, I can't believe this fell. And yeah, it's got the Intimidate, it's got the Moxie, 2 fantastic abilities. You could run a bulky set with Intimidate, and you could run a Scarf set or a Banded set with Moxie. It's got the options, and I'm glad it's on my team. It is my second Zmon with Bounce, Z Bounce, and maybe even a Z Earthquake or a Z Waterfall. But it is. I can't believe it fell. I would have liked to make Hoopa a Zmon or one of my upcoming picks. However, Hoopa it doesn't need Z moves to break through walls. It just doesn't. And honestly, I don't like Scarf Hoopa. I think Scarf Hoopa is a waste of its power. But we got the Z on the Dragonite and the Gyarados, and yeah. So I decided 4 flying types isn't enough. It's not enough. Any good draft has 5 flying types, and I got Aerodactyl. 130 speed helps with my speed tiers a bit, getting me one more fast mon that it hits 130. Pretty reliable offensive rock setter. I have defensive ones in Gligar and Ferrothorn that are very reliable, and this can also just be a suicide lead to get the rocks up if I need to. It's got Edgequake with a Life Orb, pretty strong, and then it's got Taunt. It's just the utility, it's got 4 moves. It's got 4 moves. It doesn't need any more. It's got Stone Edge, it's got Earthquake, it's got Stealth Rocks, it's got Taunt. That's what this mon does. It's gonna either lead and then Stealth Rock Taunt, or it's gonna be a Life Orb set with Edgequake. And then, it's got a couple other options. It's got Aqua Tail, Crunch, Fire Fang. It's even got Hone Claws. However, the core of any set is either going to be Edgequake or Rocks. That's it. You might throw in a Roost in there. You might throw a Hone Claws in there. I don't know. But that's the core of any set, and it does it pretty well. It's a very solid suicide lead because of its speed and then ability to throw off a Stab Stone Edge or a powerful Earthquake if it needs to. It's great in that job, and it's also a pretty solid just revenge killer because of its speed and Edgequake combo. So last mon, number 12. This was the other potential Zmon, and you're probably thinking, why would your 12th round pick be a Zmon? That's because I got the Alola Cat with a Parting Shot. The reason I got this, this is not a very good mon, I guess. However, I think Parting Shot is stupid good with my team. Just Parting Shot. Oh, getting Gyarados. You now have -2 attack. I can sweep. Parting Shot. What are you gonna do with your HPAs to a multi-skill Dragonite? You can't do anything. Parting Shot as special attack as you're not killing Hoopa. You literally can't. Parting Shot just gives my team the bulk it needs, and also allows mons like Tentacruel, Ferrothorn, and Gligar to get in and do their hazard stuff pretty freely and not take much damage. And then just having the knockoff is nice, having the ability to foul play, and then having Fur Coat to take physical hits, it's a pretty decent deterrent to physical sweepers, because it can usually take one hit and then throw off a foul play, which is pretty solid. And it's also a decent speedy pivot with the Parting Shot, and maybe even U-turn. And yeah, I think it's a solid mon. It's got Technician if I want to run some Technician Snarl or something like that. Excuse me. It's got a couple coverage moves. It's got Gunk Shot. It's got Play Rough. It's got Power Gem. I could do some cheese with this mon. Parting Shot, knockoff taunt, or Parting Shot, foul play taunt, and then just a random ass coverage move. It could work. It might one day work. But yeah, that is my MPC team. And I will see you guys later with my week 1 match versus Harley, the finals rematch. And yeah, peace.